Lesson for Wednesday, January 17th. Ever mindful of his covenant. The lesson did not ask to read Psalm 105, but it is the central focus, and so we will read it for context.
Psalm 105. O give thanks unto the Lord. Call upon his name. Make known his deeds among the people. Sing unto him, sing psalms unto him. Talk ye of all his wondrous works. Glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek the Lord. Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face evermore. Remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders and the judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Abraham his servant, ye children of Jacob his chosen. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying, Unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. When they were but a few men in number, yea, very few, and strangers in it, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, Touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Moreover, he called for a famine upon the land. He brake the whole staff of bread. He sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant, whose feet they hurt with fetters. He was laid in iron, until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. The king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. He made him lord of his house and ruler of all his substance, to bind his princes at his pleasure, and teach his senators wisdom. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And he increased his people greatly, and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants. He sent Moses his servant, and Aaron whom he had chosen. They showed his signs among them, and wonders in the land of Ham. He sent darkness and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word. He turned their waters into blood, and slew their fish. Their land brought forth frogs in abundance in the chambers of their kings. He spake, and there came divers sorts of flies and lice in all their coasts. He gave them hail for rain, and flaming fire in their land. He smote their vines also in their fig trees, and brake the trees of their coasts. He spake, and the locusts came, and caterpillars, and that without number, and did eat up all the herbs in their land, and devoured the fruit of their ground. He smote also all the firstborn in their land, the chief of all their strength. He brought them forth also with silver and gold, and there was not one feeble person among their tribes. Egypt was glad when they departed, for the fear of them fell upon them. He spread a cloud for a covering, and fire to give light in the night. The people asked, and he brought quails, and satisfied them with the bread of heaven. He opened the rock, and the waters gushed out. They ran in the dry places like a river. For he remembered his holy promise, and Abraham his servant. And he brought forth his people with joy, and his chosen with gladness, and gave them the lands of the heathen. And they inherited the labor of the people, that they might observe his statutes and keep his laws. Praise ye the Lord.
The theme of God's judgment prompts a significant question. How can God's people have peace with God and assurance of salvation at the time of judgment? Read Psalm 94:14.
For the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance.
Psalm 105, verses 7 to 10.
He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
And Daniel 7:22.
Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
God's people are secure because the Lord placed his dwelling place in Zion, Psalm 76, verses 1 and 2, and established his everlasting covenant with them as his treasured possession. Psalm 94 verse 14 and verses 8 to 10 of chapter 105. God does not simply promise not to reject his covenantal people. He actively works to keep them secure in him. He forgives their sins. Psalm 103:3. He instructs, blesses, and strengthens his people. Psalm 25, 8-11, Psalm 29, 11, and Psalm 105, 24. God's judgments are given to turn the people to righteousness and to demonstrate that God cares for them. Psalm 94, 8-15. Psalm 105 as a whole shows the Lord's faithfulness to his covenant in Israel's history. In everything that happened, the good and the bad, God was there. He providentially led Joseph to Egypt and through him saved his people and the nations in that area during the severe famine, verses 16-24. The Lord raised Moses to lead his people out of Egyptian slavery, which he did with signs and wonders on their behalf, verses 25-38. The Lord granted his people the promised land, verses 11 and 44, and his continual protection, verses 12-15. He multiplied them, verse 24, freed them from their overlords, verses 37 and 38, and provided for their daily needs, verses 39-41. The Lord is undoubtedly in sovereign control of all that involves his people, a truth that the psalmists wanted his people never to forget. When God remembers his covenant, it involves more than cognizance or memory because it always leads to action. Genesis 8:1, 1 Samuel 1:19, Psalm 98:3, and Psalm 105, verses 42-44. Likewise, when the people are called to remember God's wonders and judgments, it means that the people should live in ways that honor God. In this covenant, Israel's primary calling is to remain faithful to the covenant by observing God's laws, Psalm 78, 5-7, and Psalm 105, 45. God's people also are called to bear witness about God to other nations because the Lord wishes all nations to join his people Israel, Psalm 105, verses 1 and 2. The world is thus secure in the protective covenant of the Almighty and merciful God, Psalm 89, verses 28-34. Read Galatians 3, verses 26-29.
For ye are all the children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you as have been baptized into Christ have put on Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And if ye be Christ's, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise.
What do we have in Jesus, which shows why the promises made to ancient Israel can now apply to us?